Diana, do you think the timing of these talks gives us room to discuss the pertinent issues captured in Agenda 4 that Marcus is talking about, the long-term issues that are bedeviling this country? Because it's usually happening just at the climax of tension, and a lot that is happening in the country that really needs sort of like immediate measures. Let's do something quick and now. Does it give us room to really explore and look at the long-term solutions that are needed to the issues, the generational problems that are bedeviling the country? Do we have that opportunity?
Safin, yes, we do have the opportunity, but we must take over the processes.
Okay.
Marcus said Agenda 4 needs to become Agenda 1. In this particular process, and if you think about IEBC, let me first respond to the question of why IEBC is always a contentious issue. And even if we go back, and maybe Makano would have better history than I would of the constitutional reform process. If you think about what we did, back then in the 2000s, I was a student and studying 50+1, 24 counties. I would do that math and I would be like, wow, whoever wins will be the most popular and widely accepted president. 3 elections under the Constitution 2010, and it no longer matters. We don't even count 24. In the last elections, both sides had managed to get the required percentage in 25. Most of them were above 24. Both candidates were above 24. 50+1. It's no longer a big issue or a big determinant of whether this is acceptable or not. And whenever we have this conversation, how many MCAs are concerned about the IEBC commissioners? What are their issues about the register? Yet they are active players in an election. So I think there's even a bigger problem where we are in a devolved system of government, but we have never devolved. When governors must leave their counties to come and join the clamor to reform the IEBC, not for their own elections, but for the presidential elections, there's something fundamentally wrong with our political leadership system. Something that has not given yet. And the process of appointment, if you read the series by the book that the former chair has written, I don't think our political leaders ever have confidence in the electoral process. All of them, it seems, are so keen to influence it to their favor as opposed to allowing it win. And I think it's part of why we are always in that process, where you have done so much to influence the process, it's unfathomable that you have not managed to win. But what does that say about that process? We keep speaking about Agenda 4 and institutional reform. And truth be told, 2010, 2013, a lot of institutional reforms happened. Reforms to the judiciary. The IEBC, as we have it, is very different from the IIEC. When you think about ODPP, all these commissions that were appointed for the first time, I used to enjoy them when those chairs of commissions would come and share their numbers. There was so much confidence that finally we are getting it right. Security sector reforms also happened at that point. But we are at a point now where all that has been negated and it has faded. The strength of institutions is no longer existent. So I think we do have an opportunity to start with the people's issues as we move to the others. If it was possible, I like that Honorable Raila yesterday remembered the moment. How to be with the people is to take back cost of living to the top. I am hoping that we can maintain that. Because if we are to address the cost of living, we must address deep inequalities and historical injustices before we go into the power. But there are very, very serious risks there. We must address our economic models, our land reforms, the security system. Because, Safin, The Inspector General gave an apology yesterday to journalists. Okay, I hope mmepokea that particular apology to the Northlands attack and to other attacks. 7 days, but only after the political conversation that happened on Sunday. If that had not happened, we would not be receiving the apologies and the communication of accountability that we are seeing from the IG. So that is necessary. That is necessary for accountability, but that tells us, is the IG really independent? I am not too sure. But if we keep cost of living at the top and mobilize using the people, there is a chance we will reform. But if we reform the political questions before the people's questions, forget, we will lose yet another opportunity.
All right.
Just,